No?
So are you saying with your chest, this is not fraud?
Look, it's just a bit of fun. I think.
Tell that to the judge.
I think the judge will agree that we're just all having a bit of a laugh here.
He goes to like op shops and he buys like jewelry that have previously been worn by dead people.
Does he ask specifically for that?
I think so. I think from memory, that's what he said.
He's got a good smell for it.
Welcome back to Critical Banter, where we take the best bits from your favorite late night shows and package them into a podcast. So for this week's episode, we will be interviewing Australian comedian Tom Witcombe. With him, we will be reaching around as always, and we will be doing a tier list, compare and contrast. We'll be comparing and contrasting Australian menaces, iconic, historical, you name it. But before that, drop the week, we got me and Miguel. We have Cushy.
Yep.
Senny.
Hello.
And Rohit.
G'day. Boys, my parents came back from Bali today. And yesterday they were like, oh, we're at the airport. Do you want anything from duty free? I was like, yeah, maybe like a cologne, classic, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't have a signature scent. I just get whatever smells.
It's BO.
Yeah. Facts. But like, I don't really have like a specific cologne that I buy constantly.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't really, they're like, oh, which one do you want? I was like, just get me one that smells nice. So my parents got me this delightful little Jimmy Choo's Urban Hero. Now, I looked it up.
Not sponsored.
This is unpaid, by the way.
Unpaid. No,
You
Jimmy
didn't tell us he was going to plug Jimmy Choo.
I didn't even know Jimmy Choo's did perfumes. But anyways, I look it up, right? Because
Jimmy Choo was a Chinese restaurant.
I ate there one time. But anyways, I have a look at it because like I remember Manny like being really big into colognes and getting that $400 one. Outrageous, right?
Not
On
outrageous. Not outrageous.
Anyways, I look up like cologne reviews.
Yeah.
Jimmy Choo's Urban Hero is in the bottom 10 worst colognes in 2021.
Well, maybe it's gone back in 2022.
But like, I think it smells all right. So give it a bit of a whiff and let me know
I'm
if
not going to spray it if it's in the bottom 10.
Yeah.
no, but like it still smells fine. But I'm just like, how can they?
My nose is blocked, so I actually can't smell it.
I'm gonna give one little spray to Kush, see if it gets you.
Hey, don't go.
Have a bit of a whiff, right? Now, realistically, I think all colognes smell very similar.
This smells
No,
generic.
shut the fuck. That smells generic. That's what I was going to say.
What do you mean generic?
It smells like David Beckham Instinct that you get for like $20, for example. It smells like a typical one you get like Priceline for $20.
So what is cologne supposed to smell like?
Nice. It's meant to be
I don't know how to describe
there's
different
like different ones.
scents.
There's like
This is too strong, dude. It's like strong generic. That's what it is. Like
No,
it just
but
gets
It
put into your
smells
face.
just like cologne.
Dare I say that you have been primed by me telling you that this is the bottom 10
No,
worst
when
scent.
I first smelt it, when you walked in, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is like okay.
It just smells cool. Like, it smells fine.
Cologne has to be subtle in its like effectiveness. This is way too strong. Like it's like I'm coming at you with a shield and a sword.
it depends on like what you're looking for. Like if you want like more woody textures, more earthy tones.
It's not wine, dude. It's
Dare I say it
Do you
is
want me to
as-
get the $400 one out?
yeah, bring it out. Why
It's
not?
as-
Have a bit of a pause.
All right.
Let's compare the pair. All right, so Marty's brought his 2 cents.
Brought two.
Okay.
One, Bleu de Chanel, more reasonable.
Oh,
$200.
That's
Oh,
a nice
wow.
one, though. That
Have
is
you smelled
Is that a
it?
whiff?
I've smelled that one.
the impromptu tier list right here.
Exactly. You know, we're tier listing before the
next
tier
week.
list.
Honestly, these smell identical, dare I suggest.
Give a waft
All right.
to-
Okay, give it-
No,
Okay, wait.
it's an expensive one.
All right, just one. One's enough.
Yeah, and you have a whiff of this.
Again, listeners, my nose is blocked, so I actually couldn't smell that one. And you sprayed it right onto the roadcaster,
It gets
bro.
some, yeah.
Do we have
warranty.
Do we have cologne warranty for this?
I feel worried for the
Okay.
the guest. That's
What-
about to be. We're just assaulting him with just all
What the
this.
fuck has happened in this room?
Thoughts on the scent?
Yeah, see, this is subtle.
Subtle.
This is subtle.
Okay.
And then we go tier above.
Okay. Then we have the ooh wood.
Big Tom Ford, Oud Wood, that I've been roasted for by Rohit mainly.
But I've regularly read that this is probably the best men's cologne right now on the market.
If you're back in reviews, bro, that's what you're going for.
Oh, even the spray is just effortless.
Exactly.
Oh,
There's a
see,
bit
I
of-
like that. I
There's
like
a bit
that
of
one.
class in the spray, the nozzle.
See, bro, the earthy, woody textures, dude. That
one is nice.
That is
I do
nice.
like that one.
That is very nice.
But once again, I do think you boys have been
No.
manipulated by these
How you-
reviewers.
No, okay, fine. Objectively, though, out of the three that we've smelt, that one is the worst one.
But I'm saying not by that much. Like it realistically, they all smell very
No,
similar.
they all have the same base. Right?
Yeah.
It's always the same base, but then everything that comes after. It's all about the mixture, the blends, and how strong they are. Which parts are weak. That's how it works, man.
The tones, mate.
Maybe.
Tones and I.
Anyway, so like I was like, I showed my mum this YouTube video of it being rated like the worst cologne of all time or whatever.
Poor mum.
Yeah, poor mum didn't smell it. She's gone off the Balinese duty-free bloke. And he's recommended this. They're probably trying to push it off the shelf.
Yeah,
He's
probably
probably
got 100 fucking bottles at the back.
commission, like,
commission
get
on
rid
it
of him,
as
get
well,
rid of him. And so I've been stitched up by this dude. Anyways, we're going to Bali in October and I want to have a word with old mate at duty free who's giving me the worst cologne of 2021.
If I don't mind asking, how much was it?
I didn't ask. It's just
Maybe let's find out as well. If it was cheaper, then
If it's like $20,
I'm sure it was
then
like
it is
20
what it
bucks.
is.
quality for
then
$20.
you know what? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm sure it was 20 bucks.
can we get a zoom in of Kush just sniffing the colognes for the last 5 minutes?
What's it called, Ro?
Jimmy Choo's Urban Hero is what the cologne is called. How much are we paying?
It'll set you back about $80.
Oh, that is
That's
not
steep.
worth 80.
That is steep. I'm sorry, Ro. That is steep.
That is, but duty free, you know, chuck the taxes off.
Oh yeah, and Bali
Balinese
as well.
dollars.
So let's say half that, $40. Even then, I think you're
No,
getting.
so you know what? I like to compare these to like you know when you taste onions, like bad onions. It's like you'll cut one red onion and it's like it assaults you, like everything. You start crying. You know
Yeah.
it's terrible. That's your first one. Like it's a terrible onion, like a really bad red onion. This is like a great white onion, nice and easy, works well. This is goat tier. This one. This is the $400 one, right, Biggs?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I'm dead set. I think if we did like a blind smell test, I think you would be hard pressed
I
to
reckon
rate
I
the
could
3. You reckon?
I reckon I
I
could
think
tell.
so.
Sorry, let me interject. Is this 100 mils?
I don't know how
You
many mils it
you reckon it's
is.
100 mils?
Yeah, it's a big
Because if
one.
it is, it's $145.
Oh, ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way.
Dude, your parents
It is 100
march
mils.
back
It
there
is
and
100
get a
mils.
And
refund.
$45. For a
That's-
few dollars extra, you're getting one of the premium ones.
I think this and the Chanel one smell very similar, just quietly.
Come right off it.
Just quietly. Anyways,
You got to back your mum's purchase. I respect it, but you're wrong.
well, I think you could, like, with $145, you could probably get a return ticket to Bali.
yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah, we did. Okay, fine. All right. We'll see how we go with the Jimmy Choo's Urban Perfume. See if I get any like compliments or whatever. I knew my mum shouldn't have trusted a shoe salesman who does
are you.
perfume. Huh?
You used to be a shoe salesman as well.
Yeah.
That's why he backs this as well.
It all makes sense now.
Now, I had another update this week, a little bit more exciting, dare I suggest.
go.
I have $1 million idea.
You say this every week.
No, quite literally.
So,
Do you have $1 million?
not yet, but I have one out of $1 million.
Okay.
So,
Talk to me.
I was having a think this week. I'm like, I am moving out. Rent is expensive. I have but one job, right? I need to afford rent, savings, house, all that sort of stuff. I want it all. So I was like, how can I make a quick buck? Now, I did try the Etsy business. Mind you,
Lucrative.
lucrative Etsy business over Christmas. I'll tell you that much.
You make good money.
It's coming back. I make like $1,000 off selling, little
Don't give away trade secrets.
pets, pet artwork, and I had no talent whatsoever. So I'm like, but I needed some of that, but a bit more consistently. So I had a thought. I'm like, Beemit just changed their logo. So Beemit is like what? Cash out, essentially, PayPal, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Venmo.
Venmo.
Venmo's a good. Yeah.
You can like basically just request money from people, and they transfer it and it comes to your bank account instantly.
It's Oscar. Yeah.
So then I was like, what if and you can just Beam request not just your contacts, you can Beam request anyone.
You just need a username.
And so I decided, like, over the week, I wanted to validate this idea. I was like, Migs, you reckon what would happen if I Beam requested like 1 million people?
Let's pose this question, right? He asked me if he randomly beam requests 1 million people for $1.
$1.
What's the strike rate?
I reckon.
If I didn't know you and you got a Beam request for some random guy for $1, you're not transferring it?
Yeah.
What about you, Kush? $1.
I am. Like I've done this before with workmates. We transfer each other $1 with like a stupid like
No,
meme.
but that's a work, mate.
No, but still, I feel like if you have that kind of vibe, you'll get a good strike rate.
So like 1 million people,
Out of
I was
million,
like,
give a number.
I was like even if 1 out of 1,000 people did it,
Yeah.
I'd get 10
You're
grand.
getting 10 grand. Yeah.
1 out of 1,000, right?
How do you find 1 million people?
There's probably 1 million people on this app. There's probably multiple
No,
millions.
I understand that, but how do you get their usernames?
I'm glad you asked, Sen. So today I was like, Manny's like, he scoffed at me. He's like, nah, dude.
Rightfully so.
I said if I ask everyone I know
transfer
you $1 randomly,
I reckon I'm getting $1.
I reckon no
30 or
one's
40
gonna-
people.
And from your missus, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Just out of
Who
pity.
thought you were in trouble.
Exactly.
So I've gone. So okay, I said that was a small bubble. I think other people think a little bit differently. Think it'd be a bit of a laugh. And I was like, the homeless guys that you see on the street who ask for money.
Yeah.
Like the guys who get the most money are the blokes with the sign saying, "I just want to buy a beer and some cigarettes."
Right.
And the blokes like you just walk past, you're like, "Respect, bro, for being honest. Like, here's a couple of
I
bucks."
understand.
So
What's the Beam equivalent of I want to buy some beers and some cigarettes?
so
I told him to write, I want to buy some beers and cigarettes.
Nah, that won't work.
That's not going to work on me.
No chance.
So the message I wrote was requesting $1 from a million people to see how much I get back.
It's like a YouTube title.
That is good. That's going to get you bits.
That's literally a Mr. Beast
I
type.
want to click on that video.
I've seen that.
So I sent it this morning. I was like, I'll give it a go, whatever. Just wrote AA, found Alan C.
Okay.
Who knows Alan C?
Yeah.
Requested him $1.
Yeah.
Came back instantly with that title.
Seriously.
1 from 1.
So it's 100% strike.
Right now it's 100%.
Small
stat-
sample,
yeah.
Buzz. Extremely small sample.
But still promising.
All right.
Extremely promising, dude. The first guy I sent it back $1.
And then see how you get. And then
So Manny also said that like you might get banned, so that spooked me for like fraudulent requests. But
If you're requesting 1,000 requests, bro,
You will,
that's
yeah,
flagged.
you will.
no, but obviously I assume you're not going to do this in the next 3 days. You're going to spread it out over a few.
a million people send. I want to. I don't have a million days. I don't have one a day.
You're going to do like 10 a day or something.
Nah, you'll be
That's
flagged.
still fucking 100,000 days.
So how many were you planning to do?
I was planning to run a script and do all a million in like one day. I want to
You'll
lump
get banned
sum
instantly.
But the thing is, these guys
What
paid me.
behavior?
The thing is, he's paid me, right? So like, it doesn't seem fraudulent because me and Alan, we go way back. Send this to me, my friend.
I'm invested in this now. I really want to see you do a scripting, do this.
the only hurdle is getting banned.
Yeah, that's
You
what
will
I need
get
to
banned.
avoid. And
Every company has a fraud system, and you'll be gone within 5 strikes.
so, like, do you think I should make a new account? Like, because
Yeah, do
realistically,
a separate account. Do
You'll
a
be
separate account.
banned.
No, this is
no,
actually
as in-
starting to sound like fraud.
but this is not fraud. This is just a bit of fun.
Yes, it is.
I'm being very
You're
clear about my
creating
intentions.
New devices, new payment
Yeah.
methods, new numbers.
He didn't say new device.
Like,
Whatever.
I'm assuming that's in his pipeline.
When he gets the first 1,000, he'll invest.
I'm sure he'll take his mum's phone as well and start doing it.
No, how is that fraud? I literally
He is saying
I am requesting $1 from a million people to
it
see
is
how many
true
I
to
get
label.
back.
He is
I
saying-
think
There is no fraud here.
I think it's all about the consent on the message. If there's enough consent there that they willingly accept, then I don't think Beamer can
No,
do
and as
anything.
well, they're not going to let you put 1 million requests through their system. You're overloading their fucking system. All for what? A little joke.
It's not a joke.
crash the beam out.
it's a plea for money.
be-
That's
Well, to
what
be
it
fair, Beam It like recently rebranded, right? And I don't like their rebranding.
change the
so-
logo.
Is this revenge?
This is revenge. But realistically, like, I think this is extremely promising signs for my $1 million
Based
plan.
on one.
Bro, some random Beam requested me $1 instantly. Like, I Beam requested him and he sent the money back without a care in the world. No questions
Look,
asked.
we're all invested, but we need to carefully workshop this because I feel like you can do it, but there's so many red flags of fraud that you'll get fucked.
No, I do agree that there is like some hurdles to cross, right?
Some.
If I do like 100 a day, I think that's under the limit.
No, you'll be gone.
Really? Yeah. I thought 100
Think
might
about
be
it. In a day, what do you have to like honestly do to request 100 people?
Doesn't matter. Like, it's fine. Like, I think if I do like 1 million in one day, obviously it'll get fraud.
You're going to instantly get
But what I'll do is I'll just like keep towing the line. Like today I'll do 10,
Yeah.
20, 30 the next day. And then if I get a little email saying, what's going on here, man?
They're just going to send you
take
an
it
email,
easy.
bro. It's a one strike and you're gone. You'll just
I
immediately
think you're going to get a
kicked off.
temp ban. 24 hours, you're off that.
The problem, shadow ban on TikTok. The problem with these things though is like Beam It is legitimately like an integral part of my life. Like if I get banned from Beam It,
No, you can just use Pay ID now.
No, just use
as quick.
Use a burner. You have like 10 credit cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Just link it
Just
to
use
one of
the other
those.
cards.
do you remember how to sign up to Beam It? Was it?
You need a number. So you need another phone. Because it's linked to your mobile number. So Kush was actually right.
Phone, bank card. Do you need?
Oh, they verify your
Govy?
ID as well,
You need a
actually.
Govy?
You can't, yeah. So if you want to do this, bro, you're doing it off your own one right now.
Oh, I've been doing 9 and we'll be doing it.
How?
Realistically though, right? I get banned from Beam It, whatever. Like it is a big inconvenience, but imagine the pay. Like imagine if I get 15 grand for
Imagine
free.
if you get done for fraud.
This is not fraud. How is this fraud? I am requesting from strangers and I'm telling them why
You know
I'm
what
requesting it.
I love about this podcast. We say with our chest, things are legal. Because what did we say last week? That
Taking drugs is not illegal.
the consumption is not illegal. And one of our very close friends who has a law degree is working closely.
Admitted to the bar.
Told us in writing, showed us a screenshot of legislation.
Of the actual Australian constitution.
Consuming illicit drugs is illegal.
It's a bit,
Plain and simple, one sentence.
bit messed up though, no?
So are you saying with your chest,
Yeah.
this is not fraud?
Look, it's just a bit of fun. I think
Tell that to the judge.
I think the judge will agree that we're just all having a bit of a laugh here. I honestly think if I went up on the jury stand,
If
he's like respect, mad respect.
I think the only way you could get away with this is if you said you'd send the dollar back once you've got the 1 million.
No.
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 When I
That'd
request-
be even worse because he's not going to.
Then in this case, you're just taking people's money.
No, but his
Yes,
intentions
but
are honest.
I'm asking for it politely.
He's not
And they're
taking
giving-
people's money.
Correct.
People are giving him money.
Facts.
But you can see how people maybe they'll be like, oh, I might know a Rohit 9. I'll send him $1, and they can like shoot
Dude,
that way.
there is no fraud here, right? What I'm navigating is not the law, but the BMIT like T's and C's. So I'll have a
Which
read.
you've read, I assume.
I haven't read it yet. I've only requested one bloke the money so far. I didn't really think it was going to work, but now I've seen the flashing signs, and we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, boys, as always, this episode is sponsored by our good friends at Manscaped.
Wow.
New read this week. Sweaty sack summer is approaching.
What could this be?
And it's time for you to prioritize the comfort of your crotch, which I think doesn't get enough priority these days.
That's at least a top 5 priority, I think, in my life.
In your life.
Crotch comfort, yeah. Haven't you
This family, work, 2 things, crotch comfort.
Two other things.
haven't you ever like accidentally like nipped your balls or sat on your ball sack one day, or like it just feels a bit murky down there and a bit damp and
Can I say, I've actually never sat on my ball sack.
more ball sack.
I think it's just high hanging. It's not droopy. It's actually quite nice and compact.
No, I like that. It's a bit of a droopiness to it.
No.
Anyway, sometimes the underwear chafes a little.
Yeah, that as well.
It keeps it damp and
It's not nice.
suitable.
So what did Manscaped got for that?
Well,
bro?
the kings of crotch comfort, big claim.
I
say?
did back
Backed up.
Backed up.
Undisputed kings.
Manscaped have spent not 1, but 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there.
I've never spent 2 years doing anything, so fair enough.
Now, I'll be honest, right? These boxers are actually good. They're really good. Like, we have tried them.
Yeah.
We got them in the little box that they gave us.
Yep.
I gave them a go, and I just buy crappy boxes. I buy them from Kmart. Alpha brand, by the way.
Yeah, boo them.
Boo Alpha. I tried this Manscaped one on. Absolute thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
Potentially the great, like they actually are the best pair of underwear. And this is not even big on being paid. They're actually really good, I would say. They've got a couple of different things on. They say it's so breathable that it's like gills for your groin.
I've always said my groin needs some kills, so.
They're always underwater.
So you know it's serious, right? And I think it's time to invest in the family jewels. So let's get your bulge breath and get 20% off and free shipping using the code TCB.
What was that, bro? Say that again. Did I hear you correctly?
You did, that's right. 20% off, 20% off.
Not 2, not 12, 20.
20.
And
Like, honestly, right, that's a pretty good discount. Like,
Like if you're getting an email about some other online store and they're saying we've got 20% off our range, you're fucking going.
I literally happened to me this week. I saw, I'm not going to name the online retailer, but it said 20% off. I'm like, absolutely, I'm clicking on that.
yeah. Because usually brands give you like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And that's a bit stingy, right? So the fact that Manscaped's giving out 20%, I think is
That's actually almost
pretty
a
generous.
quarter of the price. Actually, if you incorporate the free shipping with it, you're pretty much getting a quarter.
More
of the
than a
price.
quarter, I'd say.
That is true.
With the
Shipping
free
is
shipping.
unreal expensive these days. So this is unreal value.
And not for any quality product.
Yeah, boxer briefs.
Boxes, oh my god.
Gills for your groin. Dude, gills for your groin should sell.
Whoever came up with that at Manscaped,
Yeah, excellent.
All right, fellas, we got another huge guest on this week. And as always, we start with the numbers because, as we all know, we are only defined by our numbers.
It's going to be fucking rough.
31,000 TikTok followers, over 1,000 Instagram followers, 2 shows at the Enmore Theatre last week,
Don't mind if I do.
and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu record of 1 win and 2 losses.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's good numbers. I was like, you had over 1,000 Instagram followers. Keep that real vague. 100,000 Instagram followers, that's more than 1,000 technically. Who knows?
Exactly. Please welcome to the show, Sydney comedian Tom Witcombe.
Thank you for having me. I got to say, very questionable decision to have me on, if I'm honest. If I was like a third party, I certainly wouldn't have advised it. This is not good for not good for the vibe of your podcast, I don't think. Like you had like Luke Kidgel, Neil Kolhatkar, like all these people, and you're like, yeah, this guy will do. 1,200 Instagram followers.
That's fine. At this point, we'll take anyone. So.
Oh, I'm well aware.
We'll get into a bit of all that later, but we always start with our first question to all of our guests, and that is, what is your rarest moment?
All right, I had to think about this for a bit. I was also, because I had stories where I'm like, literally not told anyone these stories, where I'm like, that's
excited.
too much. No. This is I'm going very low key in comparison to some of those.
right.
No, all right. When I was probably like 20, 22, and I was with some mates when we were going to go get lunch at like a chicken shop, and there were 3 of us, and as we walked in, there were these 2 guys sitting in the front that 2 of my friends knew that I didn't. So everyone knows each other except me.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us standing there, and they're kind of having a chat, and we're standing there sitting. And I'm just kind of looking into space, not really paying attention. And then I look down, I make eye contact with one of the guys at the table, and he goes, Nath. And I was like, what? And he goes, Nath. And I went, nah, mate, I don't think so. And he goes, no, I'm Nath. And I was like, fuck.
I don't think so. I know your name better than you do, mate.
You're not Nate.
We'll see about that, Nath.
Show the govy.
Yeah. That was, I was trying to go like embarrassing without going like, life destroying. Incriminating, yeah.
I'm glad we get a good like range of stories with this. We had Alex who said he doesn't want to go under street
I heard
signs.
that. Yeah.
We had Chilsey who buys dead people's jewelry, and now we have your.
What? Chilsey buys dead people's jewelry?
He goes to like op shops and he buys like jewelry that have previously been worn by dead people.
Does he ask specifically for that?
I think so. I think from memory, that's what he said.
He's got a good smell for it. He's like, someone definitely died in this.
He's authentic.
Yeah. No, that guy's a fucking. I haven't listened to his episode of the podcast. I listened to Alex's one. Chills is a weird unit. That guy was like dropping acid when he was 13, and it shows.
Yeah, he was telling us that he grew up in Western Sydney as well, and like some of the stories he was telling us was just wild.
Yeah.
It was a great episode. If you haven't checked it out, go listen.
Do you remember?
Shameless cross plug.
Do you remember when I don't remember if it was the first one or just like the biggest one, like the biggest anti-vax protests happened in Sydney, and there was that guy who was like spitting fire, like literally like blowing fire. It was called like the Gas Panther or something. He had some name. Just a meth head with who wasn't afraid enough of a live flame, I think. And Chills had him on his podcast. He was, and like it felt like at the time it wasn't like Chills taking the piss. He was like, this guy's gonna have some shit to say. Yeah. We need to get his message out there.
Give him a platform. Yeah.
Oh god, he was so scratchy. You know what I mean? Just the whole time scratching forearms. He was.
How did you even find him?
I have no idea.
That's kind
With
of
a name
impressive.
like the Gas Panther, dude. You can just ask around, like, where's Gas? You seen him recently? They know where he is.
So, like we said, you are a comedian. You did a few shows at the Enmore Theatre, but let's take it back. How did you get started into comedy?
I mean, like I think a lot of us would probably say, especially dudes, listen to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot. And then it kind of went from like stand-up comedy being this weird thing that just sort of existed out there we didn't really know anything about, where it suddenly felt like you heard first-person perspectives about stuff. And so I think that's probably when I went from like just being a fan to be like, kind of more interested in the actual doing of it. And I had a mate of mine who I found out had done open mics in Sydney. And I'd never seen amateur comedy before. Like I'd only ever seen it on YouTube or on TV or whatever. And I just like, I just hit him with a barrage of questions of like, how long did you do? How did you write it? Where did you do it? Did it go well? Did it not go well? What are the other comics like? And after a while, he was like, dude, clearly you want to do it. Stop being a pussy and just go do it. And I was like, all right, that's he goes, look, if you go and you write your 5 minutes of material, let me know when it's ready. I'll find us a gig to do and we'll go do it together and we'll bomb together and it'll be fine. And I'm like, all right, cool.
It's kind of cute.
Did you
I thought
bomb?
so. Well, no. So what happened was because I then started going to some comedy nights in and around Sydney, and I remember watching it and being like, I could fucking do this. You know what I mean? You see some people and you're like, this is shit. And you guys have been to comedy in Sydney. You've seen them.
This is a common thread amongst everyone. Just like the people they watch, they're like, we can do it better.
Yeah, and
then they do
Our origin story.
Yeah, as ours as well.
And all the people that I watched probably had that thought about someone else as well.
True.
Where like, this is comedy, you fucking idiots. And so I remember one night in particular, I went and I saw this show and I just like came home and I just like, my mind was just spitting like I used to start off like really one-liner heavy, like a lot of like Jimmy Carr style or Mitch Hedberg. I mean, yeah, not as good as either of them, but that kind of thing. And so I remember like that night, I reckon I wrote like 4 minutes of what would go on to be my first set. And I told my mate, I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. He's like, all right, cool. This Wednesday, there's a show at this place. I know the guy's running it. We'll sign up for it. And then he finds out that show wasn't running until the next week. So he's like, okay, never mind. We'll see if we can find another one. And he added me to the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And that was Chills' open mic. So Chills, before Magic Mike was where it was now, it was down the road at a place called Monkey Magic. And it was like the most dire open mic. Like it was 20 people doing 4-minute sets to like a crowd that is just progressively less interested as the night goes on. Because you got to think, like, you're seeing 20 amateur comedians do 4 minutes of comedy. It's fucking rough. Anyway, so I told him, all right, we'll go here. He goes, cool. Get a call from him the day before. Hey, man, I've been really busy. I haven't gotten a set together.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to do it. But
Convenient.
but I will come and I'll support. And I was like, okay, all right, fine. Day of, call in the afternoon. Hey, man, I'm busy. Can't come along, but let us know how you go. So
What a dog.
fucking dog. Dan Kuzmic, you piece of shit.
Yeah, call him out down the barrel.
Dan Kuzmic, he won't watch this. He doesn't have an internet plan that sustains watching live video. I don't think.
I'm here for the dance plan.
Bro.
I ended up calling a mate of mine. He came along, and that was at Chills'. And I think I probably still have the recording of it somewhere. I did fine, but it felt like I crushed.
Yeah.
Like at the time, I'm like, I am the one that was promised.
Yeah.
This is
The Messiah.
but I think I listened back to it a while afterwards, and it was fine. I think then my second one, I went in like just brimming with confidence and bombed horrendously to a room of comics as well, which is the worst. And then, just kind of never stopped doing it, really.
Not bad. What do you reckon your worst bomb is? Like, do you have any memorable like ones that stand out?
That one stands out a lot because it was so fresh. Like, I only did that room once. Like, it kind of just I was like, I'm never going back to that place. And it was all comics as well. So it was like all of these people who I vaguely knew but who did not know me. And comedy early on is very like in group, out group. You're not one of us. Like
Very clicky.
super clicky. My mate put it really well. He's like, I used to hate how clicky comedy was until I found my clique. Which is so true.
Yeah, it's hard being like outside looking in.
Yeah,
but
for
once
sure.
you're in, you love it.
Well, because, all right, so go back to the jiu-jitsu thing. I always thought this was similar. When you go into a new jiu-jitsu gym as a white belt, no one fucking talks to you. Like, everyone's pleasant, but no one wants to be your mate. And the reason is, as I did it longer and longer, I kind of found out. It's like blue belts and brown belts have seen, blue belts, purple belts, brown belts, whatever, they've seen white belts come and go all the time. Like, one day, Jim just doesn't show up anymore. And you're like, okay, I guess he's done. So it's like, you don't waste your time making friends with these people because you're like, you're probably not going to be here in a couple, but statistically, you're probably not going to be here in 6 months' time. So it's kind of like, we'll see how you go. If you're still here in 6 months' time, then maybe I'll chat to you a little bit. You know what I mean? And it just gets more and more so as people get further into it, I reckon.
Right. I'm glad you brought up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because this is where I really wanted to get with you. So your record, 1 win, 2 losses. I've actually got the details of your opponents. So firstly, Brady, you won by
okay, I'm trying to work out if I can predict these or not.
All right. So Brady, did you win or lose?
Was it all the one competition?
It was all the one competition.
Okay. My first one I won by rear naked choke, I reckon. Did I?
It says by points, 2-14.
What was? Oh wow! What was the competition? Does it say Sydney Open?
It just said Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
But you won. So
I won.
You
Still
take
counts.
that, yeah.
It counts. Yeah.
Your next one, you lost to Aliki by submission. Do you remember this one? Or did you get knocked out in this?
Get knocked out. You don't understand how jiu-jitsu
He
works.
doesn't
I had no idea.
Limited striking.
Oh.
Do you
never mind.
do you know? Do you?
Yeah.
He watches UFC every now and again.
every now and then. When these guys watch, I'll just join them.
This is simultaneously so much and so little research you've done.
I was hoping these guys would help me out a bit more.
grappling.
It's grappling. Yeah, it's all
Right.
submission.
It's like judo.
Yeah, kind of. Judo's like it's like takedown, right? Whereas jiu-jitsu happens mostly on the ground.
Nice.
Fucking nice.
And your last one, you lost by disqualification.
Oh,
Are you
what
sure this
happened
is
there?
me? I don't reckon this is me.
It's not you. Well,
Another Tom Witcombe.
Tom, you said Bondi.
Bondi. Disqualification. I don't remember being disqualified.
All right, then take us through your career. Then, what do you remember from?
Here's what I remember. I remember
what's your truth, Tom?
Yeah.
my truth.
This website's obviously lying to us. I want to hear it from you, the source.
So my first, I remember as a white belt, I competed at the Sydney Open at the Sydney Aquatic Centre, and I won my first one by rear naked choke. I won my second one by guillotine, and then I lost in the bronze medal I lost in the semi-final. Do any of you guys know jiu-jitsu at all?
Not that well, like basic knowledge.
Okay.
I've heard of rear naked choke and guillotine.
So-
I've seen them on a UFC card one time.
So the answer you're looking for is no.
No,
this is
long-
this is a podcast about word economy, Miguel. All right, this is it's like I was basically I can't describe this without sounding super gay. Unfortunately, that's a lot of this. That's a lot of this sport, really.
It's the vibe of this podcast anyway, so that's fine.
I got that. Yeah, I got that vibe in here. Maybe it's just the overwhelming smell of cheap cologne. Yeah. It smells
Jimmy
like
Choo's Urban Hero is what you're smelling
smells
right
like
now.
Ivy Pool Bar in here right now.
RRP of 145. I just want to put it out there. Cheap. So.
No, the guy just, so in jiu-jitsu, there's this thing called being in guard, right? And it's kind of like, in theory, it's a neutral position.
Yeah.
It's when one of you is kind of, it looks a lot like the missionary position, if I'm perfectly honest. That's what it looks like. And I'm on top in missionary, and he's underneath with his legs wrapped around my waist. And this is the easiest way to, because you guys haven't seen jiu-jitsu, but you've seen porn, I presume.
Thank you for putting it out there.
Something I know a lot about.
Yeah, I thought so. It's the glasses. And he had his legs around my waist, which is like the guard position. And he done this thing which I'd never felt before, which he just squeezed his legs together really hard. And for about 10 seconds, I was like, I think I'm about to shit myself in this jiu-jitsu competition right now. And I think either I panicked and I gave up the position straight away and he just finished me, or I just tapped immediately. I don't remember. It was,
okay.
I've never had you guys, you say play football. You guys good at sports?
Decent.
Rohit reckons he could have been professional in any sport.
Any
and
sport.
And the only reason he
You
didn't
reckon?
get that far, Ro, was...
Maybe not jiu-jitsu. Maybe jiu-jitsu if I tried. No, because my parents didn't let me. They're like, do you want to study for exams? Or I'm like, no, Mum, I want to chase my dreams. They were like, no. You have to study.
Wrong answer.
Yeah, okay. I reckon that would have stopped Jordan as well. You know what I mean? I think that, there was no getting through that barrier. No one's ever done that.
Exactly.
What was your sport of choice?
Like probably cricket.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your, like, batsman, bowler,
Batsman,
all-rounder? Okay.
yeah.
And how far did you get?
Go on.
Held back. Just the club level. A
Yeah.
grade. That's it.
And what do you do now?
Oh, I just play for fun now.
No, but like in life.
Oh, just like working. It's like a job interview or something.
But like,
You're getting defensive. It's just an honest question, right?
Nah, as in I just work full time now.
you're doing what?
Oh, like software, like engineering stuff.
Yeah, I could have picked it.
The glasses again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. The glasses, that part. Yeah. I feel this is the first comedy opportunity I've had where I'm the diversity booking.
Yes.
That doesn't happen to me very much.
You can say that for many of our guests as well, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, even Alex was like talking about being Serbian and you guys were bonding over getting hit as a child. And I'm like, I got none of this. I had a great childhood.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it must.
Must be nice.
I don't think my parents have ever said I love you to me. Anyway,
Well, at least they're honest.
True.
our next question was, going back to the fighting, you know, if there was a Hunger Games style of all the Sydney comedians, how do you reckon you would fare?
Oh,
given
dude,
your background.
Comedians are bitches. Like they're like theater kids with less friends. Comedy does have like this weird sort of subset of blue collar dudes.
I was going to say, surely there's some rough
There's a couple. There's not many. Like it's pretty like liberal artsy. Do you know what I mean? For the most part.
Okay.
And obviously we're getting closer and closer to equality of genders. So I think that fares well for me in a Hunger Games situation. True. Because none of them are Katniss. Do you know what I mean?
No. So last year you made the final of the Raw Comedy National competition.
Mm-hmm.
So to explain to these guys who might not know, but I'll give you like a quick. It's like Fortnite. It's like a battle royale of amateur comedy. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
But Tom could probably do a better explanation of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Fortnite in that it's mostly entered by virgins. And
I'm listening.
okay, so basically Raw is every state in Australia puts forward at least one amateur comedian to compete at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. So every state has their own sort of like heats into semi-finals, into finals. Some of the bigger states, so Victoria and New South Wales usually get at least 2, maybe 3 entrants. Most of the other states get 1. Which in some of those states' cases is still too many. And basically what happens is anyone can enter, like any of you guys could enter the Raw Comedy Competition. It's pretty sick actually. Like if anyone was thinking about doing the whole like, in comedy they talk about bucket listers, right? People who just want to do it once, which is totally fair enough. Doing Raw is a great way to do it because you go to the Sydney Comedy Store, you perform in front of anywhere between 150 and 250 people.
Jesus.
It's professionally emceed, so someone's keeping the rails on, keeping it on the rails. And the crowd is there because it's all these people, friends and family. They're there for a good time. Like they're there to have fun and to see people do well and to laugh hard. Like you go to other places, like chances are, if you're a regular open micer, your first gig is to 7 disinterested patrons above a pub.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really great gig. Like I think that's what some people ask me, especially since I made the final, like for advice. I mean, if you're in your first year of comedy, just have fun. Like it's the best gig you'll do this year, hands down. You can enter 3 times. You can only make the national final once, and you can only enter if you've earned less than $1,000 doing comedy. Like that's their
can they
benchmark for
prove that,
amateur. They don't. There's a lot of people who
They get your bank
earn way more.
statements.
there's a very thorough auditing process.
Credit check and all.
Yeah. You go in Sydney, it's less in other states because there's just not the same. Like if you're in Tasmania, there's like 12 people there and half of them do stand up.
Yeah.
And that's, you know what I mean? And then so in Sydney, you go heats, state semi-final, state final, national final. And the national final's at Town Hall at Melbourne Comedy Festival in front of like 1,500 people, which is sick. And then if you win that, which I didn't, you go to Edinburgh and you compete in, so Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
It's like the big comedy festival every year. And you compete in what they call it So You Think You're Funny.
Oh, so they pay for everything and you just go.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's
Who
pretty sick.
judges? Like, how do they judge who wins?
So generally, so at like the lower levels, it's usually someone who's competed in the past.
Yeah.
So that was, I judged one this year, which was pretty fun. And then there's someone from the industry, usually like a manager or someone who's high up in one of the management agencies, and then someone else in the industry or like comedy critics. Like at the national final, they get someone from The Age to come because they do all the reviewing. My claim to fame was in my because I didn't. So in the national final, they give like a winner, a runner-up, and 2 special mentions. I was none of them. So I'm going to presume I came 5th.
Yeah.
And
Out of how many?
Out of 12.
Oh, that's not bad.
Decent.
And in The Age, they write up their review of the show.
Oh, okay.
And my review, like everyone kind of got a line, right? So like the winner probably got a few more lines, like, you know, a couple of sentences. Everyone else has got a sentence to say, hey, this person was there and they did this, and this went well and whatever. And mine said, Tom Witcombe started strongly before losing the crowd with an unnecessary jibe at women's athletics.
You want to repeat what the jibe was?
I say that women's sprinting is actually way more exciting than men's sprinting because not only is it just as entertaining, you get to enjoy it for longer. Just a phenomenal joke.
That's quality. I would say.
I must say.
And then I say, because it always gets like an ooh response from some people, and I say, sorry, it looks like I've offended a few of you. I should have said at the start of my set, some of my jokes do contain facts. And
That's probably where you lost them.
but it's like, it's undeniable. It makes me so angry.
Do you double down then?
Just speaking facts.
That was a double down.
That was the
As
double
in like
down.
even like triple down at that point. Or
That's usually my closer, or it was my closer at the time, so I don't get a chance.
left on a bad
But
taste.
it's just like it's not like saying women aren't funny. It's like saying, show me the women sprinter who's outrunning Usain Bolt, and I'll stop telling the joke. Do you know?
Yeah, show me a woman who's the fastest person on the planet.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it was gonna be like judging you just like a crowd cheer, like one of those competitions, just like lower level, just like woo, get all your mates to come around,
Man,
see how it goes.
I
Scream for Rohit.
for
like
sure.
that.
I did one recently, just like an amateur competition at a random pub. And the way that you won was every patron who bought a drink got a receipt, and they would write the name of the winner on the receipt.
Oh, excellent.
And and I go, and it's like packed. I can't believe how busy. Like there's heaps of people there. I thought it'd be like a shitty gig. And I rock up, and they start, and the MC goes, "Give us a woo if you're here supporting a friend or a family member tonight." This huge woo, and then they go, "Give us a woo if you're just here, just observing." Silence. Oh. None of my friends were there, and I was like, "This is a waste of time. I don't think I'm getting through. I'm gonna have to turn all of these people against their best friends for me to get to the next
You
round."
have to be that good. Were you?
Oh no, no.
You just see Tom at the back, like the pub, just buying drinks, getting receipts, writing his own name on there, chuck it in to see.
Yeah,
So you do your own podcast now.
I do.
Show some respect. Tom Witcombe is talking.
Yeah.
It's a bit verbose.
It's we've
Also
met.
a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a bit aggressive.
How would you describe my tone on this podcast so far?
It's a bit. You've come a bit hostile to start off with.
It's kind of a thing. It's what I'm going
Well
for.
branded.
Yeah, I like it.
That's true.
Thank you.
But you do it solo. So
Yeah.
like it's just you ranting for about half an hour. How do you find that? Because like we do it weekly as well, but we have 4 of us. Like we can always bounce ideas off each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I think so much of it for me was just seeing whether or not I could do it. Because there are people like, you think about Chris D'Elia's got one like that, Bill Burr's got one like that. I'm trying to think, there are a few other comics that do it. And I just thought it would be good practice. If you've seen my comedy, like it's pretty well rehearsed. Like I don't really go off script very much. Like I don't really riff. And so I thought it would be a good practice just to get used to being on a mic a little bit more. And just, for things like this where I can kind of come in blank and just sort of go.
Just talk. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right. Like it's pretty. There are episodes where I'm sitting in the middle. I'm like, this is shit. There is nothing here.
Do you release those or you just?
Yeah.
As you should.
Well, it's like, let them decide if it's shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you would probably have podcasts where halfway through. I used to do a podcast with a friend of mine, and we would end, and one of us would go, "Man, that sucked." And then I'm going, "Seriously? I thought it was good." We had no idea. So you don't really know until you put it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you kind of like, if something falls flat or it doesn't go anywhere, or you kind of get tripped up in your words, you focus on that and you forget everything you did before it. So yeah, I don't mind it. I probably won't do it forever. The numbers are staggeringly low. No one's listening. But
Is it double digits, triple digits?
it's double digits. It's double digits.
Oh, so there's
for
people
now.
out there.
It's very hard to start podcasts because no one cares. Like no one cares.
Yeah.
It's just hard to start.
For me, my audience needs to be people who will buy tickets to see me perform stand-up, right? So that's sometimes because I put out stuff on TikTok, sometimes I put stuff out and it goes really well, but it's just so off-brand.
Yeah.
And it's like if people came and saw me live, they'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is really aggressive. Like, why is he disparaging female athletes so frequently? This wasn't what I was promised. So yeah, but I guess what do you guys? What's the dream for Critical Banter? Like, what would you? Who do you guys look up to in the podcast world? Are you guys big like Flagrant 2 guys? I guess.
Oh, I do like Andrew Schultz. He's good. But we more look like the Sidemen, like more YouTubers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the Sidemen a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
okay.
a group of YouTubers.
just like a bunch of boys like just doing fun stuff, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I've only just started getting into like YouTube culture enough to realize I don't think it's what I want to do.
Fair.
But it's like it's very like seductive. Do you know what I mean? Like the promise of it.
Yeah.
Like you see what these guys are doing, how much money they're making, what they're doing for fun. Like I only learned about, I kind of knew after the Squid Game thing, Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know anything. I'd never watched any of it.
Yeah, right.
That was one of the best videos I've ever seen.
Dude,
on
high
YouTube.
production value, just crazy. Like what stuff people are doing these days.
Are you guys big Mr. Beast fans?
I've seen a lot
Not
of his
really.
stuff.
As in, like, I
I
just-
respect the hustle.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
come across it.
I think the whole case study of it's really fascinating. That like there's this guy who's getting more views on his videos than Netflix get on some series.
That's insane.
From one guy just like coming up with ideas. But then, and I really liked it objectively when I heard about these things. And then I watched one. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is just like Gen Z Price is Right. This is fucking awful.
But he comes up with like really like stupid premises, like stupid shit that we would think about, but like he actually has the time and the means and the money
And
to
he
actually.
knows the game. He knows what people are going to click.
knows the clickbait titles.
How to
He knows
keep you
how to-
on there.
He's
But
so
at the end of the
smart.
day, it's not that
good? Yeah, I
I
don't
mean.
I think it's very. It depends how you define good, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very good at doing those things.
Yeah.
It's good at getting millions of views and retention and like being really clickbaity and interesting, right? Like playing hide and seek in a football stadium is kind of a cool concept, but then you watch it and you just realize, just like it's just the same way that all media, all like popular mainstream media now is just lowest common denominator.
Yeah,
like we got to hand out a Tesla every 90 seconds for people to keep watching this shit.
But yeah, he does that. Like, oh yeah, I'll give away $1 million or like even stuff like buried alive for 24 hours. Like I've definitely thought about it, but I would never do it myself. And now I
Yeah.
can watch him do it.
But
I
it's
watched-
not. Yeah.
I watched one of those things. It was he gets 100 people, and the last one standing in the circle. Have you seen this?
that
Yeah, I've
video.
seen that.
The last one
What's
standing in the
this?
circle. So it's like it's a big.
Is it a big circle? Oh,
It's
it's not like a
literally
little.
as advertised.
Yeah, but it's not like a hula hoop, is it? Or it's like a massive circle. and
It's
they've got
probably like
people
the
in there?
size of half a football field to start
Okay,
with,
right.
and then every day it shrinks a little bit.
Well, are
As in
these
there's
people
no-
eating or
You just
He gives
stand in
them
the
shit,
fucking
yeah.
circle.
You stand in the circle, and it's basically like. Who's going to give up for? It's like
Right.
those ones. They've been doing it forever in the States. Like, last one to have their hand on the car.
Yeah, I've seen that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Gotcha. But are they tossing burgers into this circle? Like this, you said days. So this thing is like going on for like a week or two.
It went on for 9 days, and then they said it's still not over. There's a part 2 to this challenge for you to win $500,000. Americans are fucking morons. Like
That got like what 100 million views or something, right?
you got like 100 million, but I mean like the 100 people who volunteered to do this thing and spent 9 days of their life. Like Americans only get 2 weeks annual leave. Yeah. What are they doing? Who are these people that no one misses them for 2 weeks
True.
while they go to try and win $500,000?
Yeah, they sit in a
They're
circle.
probably unemployed. That's why they need the $500,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
good
it's
point.
insane. And then, so it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And by the end of it, it's like literally the size of this table. It's crazy. And
It's content, baby.
it is, it's fucking, oh man, content. Gross. I just feel like content as a term is like, it used to be art and now it's content. Like, Van Gogh would be doing caricatures of his 100,000 subscribers
Selling
if he was alive.
NFTs of
Yeah.
Starry Night.
For sure.
I don't think Van Gogh painted something and called it content, though, to
Yeah,
be fair.
cutting off his own ear on live stream.
Oh, he thought that's good content.
That's a fun little sketch idea. What would old artists do for content?
for content.
Write
yeah.
that down.
You just made content out of that commentary on content. Hey, we should turn that into content.
All right, thanks for that, Tom. We'll probably move on to the tier list because that often with us, we always like to
Good
ramble
content.
on. Again, more good content, but we often like to ramble on, so we'll probably move on to that quickly. Alrighty, boys. We are bringing back Compare and Contrast, also known as the tier list segment. I saw on your Instagram a few weeks ago you did tier listing cancellations,
Oh, yeah.
which is when I sent that to Miguel and I'm like, we got to do a tier list with this man.
Nice, I'm keen.
So this week we're tier listing iconic Australian menaces. So just people who are just pests to society. And so we've got a list, and as per usual, we've got our 5 tiers. So the bottom tier. So we're going to do it based on level of threat to society. So the bottom tier is just the common cold, which I am currently battling right now. The next one
Well,
up.
you didn't say that when you walked in. Keep your
That's fine.
distance.
Apologies to everyone in advance. I hope you have nothing important this week. The next one up is the flu. I got my flu shot this week. Funny story. So Kush is anti-vax, as we've established on this podcast.
Is that right?
No, it's not.
I literally told Kush this week I got the flu shot. The man laughed at me and said, "Why?"
Whoever
your body do its natural.
The man was battling like the worst flu he's ever had. He's like, let the natural fucking antibodies
Just
do
to
it.
clarify, I've got my 3 vax shots, okay?
Bush, what's your take on Roe v. Wade? You also
He's got some questionable opinions.
you're a Roe guy or Wade guy? What are you guys doing?
The middle one is the Alpha variant. The next top one is the Omicron variant, and the absolute biggest threat to society is the Delta variant. So whoever we decide is the biggest menace, we'll go there.
Let's all hope that ranking system stays valid for a long time.
Yeah,
I
true.
hope so too.
It's going to age very poorly. We'll see.
All right. So the first menace that I have on the list is George Pell.
I just want to very quickly say I think the term menace is a bit of an undersell. Like he's not exactly. This isn't Dennis the Menace slingshotting cats.
Yeah.
This is
But
You don't go to George Pell, you little rascal. Like,
that's
all right, buddy. Like you learn.
George Pell.
That George Pell, he's a number.
Yeah, he's a real Ferris Bueller type. That George Pell.
he is out of jail. So this is all alleged.
Is he actually?
Yeah, they released him. I think last
Do
year.
they put anyone in jail anymore? Jared Haynes out of jail. Who goes to jail anymore?
Apparently,
Doesn't seem
it's
to-
very
Bill
flimsy.
Cosby's out of jail.
But in terms of absolute menaces to society, where are we putting George Pell? I think we've pretty much answered already. He has to be up there, right?
Is he up there? Is he? What do you guys reckon? Up there? What do we?
I think.
What did you? Should we clarify?
Oh, maybe we should clarify. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Can we
Allegedly.
please? We got to edit that as a. But what did George Pell really do? If you really think about it,
They call Messi the GOAT, but what did he really do for football? You got to get to the nitty gritty of things sometimes.
Yeah, dude. George Pell, in a different era, would have been putting up GOAT status level numbers, to be honest.
That's true. Yeah.
And to be honest, there's many more that maybe they didn't catch him
is
for.
it true?
It's true. Back in the day when there was no jail,
Less
and-
reporting and,
yeah,
you
less
know.
reporting. It's
This guy would be putting up Jordan level numbers. But for those who don't know, George Pell
Go on.
is a nonce and fiddled a few kiddies.
Alleged.
Allegedly.
Did he or did he just enable it for other people? I thought he was more just like.
I think he did.
See,
as well.
that's
Did
what
he?
we need to clarify.
So
did he enable it or
he
did he do
enabled
it?
it, and he also
he was the head
partook.
honcho. Yeah, he was the one who.
He was like
Because
the-
wasn't the main thing there were like some kids that were testifying or grown adults now that were testifying as kids. So you fiddled it.
and there's a few that yeah.
As the only one here with a career that could be ruined.
No,
I
we
would
all
like-
have careers that might be ruined.
I would just like to ascertain. I'm not discussing whether or not
No.
he is Delta level. All right, this is not like is it Delta or is it Alpha? I don't know. No, it's highest
is.
level.
Absolutely.
Regardless.
No questions asked. He is at the top. All right. Next up is Chappelle Corby, who's become like a reality TV show star now, and I think that's one of the greatest 180s in
Biggest
Australian
comeback of all
history.
time,
One
dare
of the
I
greatest
suggest.
comebacks.
That's
Like,
huge.
she was vilified for years, and then she's come back. She's on fucking Big
Dancing with the
Brother,
Stars
Dancing
and
with the Stars,
SAS or whatever.
Yeah, she was on SAS, and she was like full have a like sob story, and people were like, "Oh, I feel so bad for Chappelle." Dude, shut the fuck up.
I'm so bitter that any of us know Chappelle Corby's name.
Yeah.
Why should any of us know who this? Like
I
none of us
agree.
remember any of the Barley Nine's names.
True.
Oh, I remember two of them. I remember
Why, did you grow up with a couple of them?
Related
or-
It's his brother.
He's not. He's not.
Tom's face is like, oh no.
But he's from my community, so he is a bit known.
Is
Sri
that
Lankan.
Sri Lankan community?
Yeah.
Okay. What? As in, like, you grew up around him, and
No, as in, we actually did know like people who knew him and stuff like that.
have you discussed this on the podcast
No,
before?
no, never.
This is interesting stuff.
Yeah.
This
It is. But yeah. So like my family knew like his like not knew them directly, but we knew people who knew their family and stuff like that. It's a pretty small community.
couple of degrees of separation.
Exactly, 2 or 3 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
back to Chappelle.
And you bitter he doesn't have the profile that Chappelle Corby has. Would you like
Why
to
does
see him on SAS Australia?
Why does
Oh,
Chappelle
I
get
think it's a bit
this
hard
name?
for him right now. 6 feet under. Jesus, boys, come on. Where have we gone? Where have we gone? Let's get back on track. Chappelle Corby.
What did Chappelle Corby do?
She allegedly, she still maintains that someone else put it in there, but she took it was cannabis.
Like 5 kilos of cannabis
it
in
was
a
just
boogie
wacky
board.
tobacco, but I mean, like completely harmless stuff. But she took it to Bali in a boogie board, and they chucked her in jail.
Is
Who
she a
knows?
menace to Australia?
No.
That's what I'm thinking.
She's a menace to international borders.
She's a menace to primetime television. Doesn't deserve to be there at all. I don't know. Like I think pretty low ranking, right? Surely.
absolutely.
Common cold, are we saying? Like the very bottom?
I got to figure out who else is on your list, but I would
For
probably-
now?
yeah, chuck
I
her down the
reckon.
bottom.
All right, beautiful. So we'll put her at the bottom. Next up, we have Pauline Hanson, who's everyone's favorite racist auntie. Or probably your actual auntie. To be honest.
I'm going to put it out there as the only person in the room. I like her. I think she makes some good points. Like,
She laughed at the joke about women's athletes. You know, she's on board. We're good.
yeah, she would get around that.
Yeah, she would. She'd love it.
Look, I'm gonna let you guys lead the conversation on this one.
Right, yeah.
I actually don't think she's she's also had a low key like 180.
Where is she these days?
I don't know.
Actually,
she's still a politician. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she's isn't she like? Doesn't she have a seat?
Yeah,
She does, yeah.
yeah.
But I actually haven't heard much from her in the last few
No,
years.
so she used to be like whatever. I think she's turned around decently, dare I suggest.
I think we just stopped giving her airtime.
I think she's just been overshadowed by Clive Palmer. I think she just doesn't have the
idiots
cash to send us all text messages, unfortunately.
Did you guys ever get the Clive Palmer text message?
No, but I've seen these billboards all across everywhere.
I have a feeling you guys might not be his demo.
Yeah.
You know what? You might be right.
Dude, there's a guy on my street who has 3 Clive Palmer billboards on his front yard. And every time I drive past, I'm like, I think so low of you right now.
I saw like people, you'd probably be seeing around here as well, like people putting up all their billboards and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
for all their candidates. And I saw 2 guys on a flatbed ute with like a whole heap of United Australia Party, like the bright yellow ones.
Yeah.
And I saw one guy and I'm like, he looks kind of normal. And I saw his mate and he's got like 3 crucifixes tattooed on his neck. I was like, yeah, you're the one. I would have thought Pauline Hanson pretty, like fairly high up there, right? Like she's kind of normal.
mid-tier,
I think mid. I think in the
Yeah.
middle somewhere. We'll put it
In reality, did she actually like?
She just says rogue
She
things.
says a
but
lot. Has
she doesn't
a lot
actually
of
do
rogue views.
anything.
Thought what was it? Ularu's white. What did she say?
Yeah, she refuses
Ayers
to call
Rock,
it. She
sorry?
calls it Ayers Rock and not Uluru, and just like really stupid things like
Then
weird
she,
hills
was it
to
the thing
die
she
on.
couldn't get down or something?
Oh yeah, she climbed it. Especially so they banned climbing Uluru,
Yeah.
but she decided to make a point of it, so she climbed it, and then she couldn't get down, and that's a helicopter her down or some shit.
Oh yeah. It's a great view up there at Uluru. I don't know if you
I've never. I looked at me.
I throw things into the ether here and you guys are like,
I mean, I'll go with it if you're going to throw it out there.
Whatever you'd like.
All right, we'll chuck her in the middle. Democracy Manifest guy.
Iconic.
what is this?
Oh,
Have you seen the video of the guy
is it-
screaming out, "This is Democracy Manifest"?
A succulent Chinese?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
that's the man. He actually made a comeback. I don't know if you guys saw this. I think Sportsbet for some reason they went and found him, and then they did a few interviews with him, and he was on my feed for a while.
Love that.
Bro, just let
Wow.
him go. He was like a viral star 30 years ago. Just let it go. Like, why are you trying to bring him back?
Wasn't he wrongly accused?
Yes.
Yeah, he was wrongly accused as well. Actually.
What was he accused
innocent.
of?
So they thought he was like a
Like a dine and dasher. Like he
Yeah.
would just go take meals
Like a
and
serial
jet.
and he was a serial
Yeah.
pest who
Yeah.
would just continuously do it.
Yeah, okay. He's got serial pest vibes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But apparently that wasn't him. They got the wrong guy. So I
But
was
let's just say
did
it is.
they?
For this argument, let's just say it is.
Yeah.
Slander the poor man a bit more. Where are we going to put him?
Menace. He's a menace.
He's a menace.
He's scamming local business.
You don't know if he's scamming hocka hocka noodles or I'm going to sound so racist, but I'll stop there. I'll just chuck out random Uncle Mings or whatever. But
God.
if he's scamming chains, not a menace. If he's
What if it's like a
scamming
mom and pop?
mom and pop shops,
Yeah.
Big menace if he is.
He
And I reckon
is,
he didn't
yeah.
care. If he's a serial man, he's not picking and choosing Macca's and KFC. No.
Are you saying you've never dined in Dashro?
I have not done
he's
a
dining-
dash.
let's-
Oh no, I have.
Let's go back to the era. When was it? Like
80s, yeah.
80s?
Yeah.
Were there many succulent Chinese chains? No.
Yeah,
Sure. Been.
There's only one. He was scamming the local ones. Fuck off. He's a menace.
All right, that is pretty menacing behavior.
Yeah, but we're saying Pauline Hanson never dined a dash at a Chinese restaurant. 100%.
She probably committed a hate crime in the restaurant.
I don't have strong. I do agree. Like, have you guys dined and dashed? I've never dined and dashed.
On record? No.
I've done and dashed, yes, but that's because it took 2 hours. The credit card machine wasn't working. I'm like, brother, I can't stay here waiting for you to fix your credit card machine, and I don't have cards because I'm all cashless, so I'm gonna bounce.
I don't know if dash is the right verb for what you did.
true.
You dined and left.
But there's the things where we've done it before, like at Macca's or Hungry Jack's, where if they're calling out an order and no one goes to pick it up, you just
That's just that's just some harmless fun, really. Yeah.
But wait, did you order anything before?
Yeah,
Or did you
yeah,
just
we'd
go-
be waiting for something and no one would claim something. So then I'm like, it would go to waste otherwise.
In addition to
Sometimes
what you
Rohit was in
ordered?
the area.
yeah,
We're in the food court. Ray's hanging around and
man didn't
Nabs
get it.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
didn't order anything.
That was in high school. That was the glory days.
That's pretty good. I like that. I agree. Chains. It's like all of us steal from Woolworths, 100%, right? Right.
Yeah.
You guys don't
We'll
use.
back you on that. We'll
you
back
Are you
don't
talking about grapes or are you talking about
I'm talking self-serve
bit of
checkout.
chippies? As in you classic Oh,
You're putting
Fuji apples.
avocados
Yeah.
as watermelons.
Oh yeah, I've done that
Type
sort of shit where like the really expensive fruits and veggies, I've been putting out like the cheapest one and just walking out and stuff like
Putting
that.
in avocados as watermelons is so rogue. It's the most obvious
I had
one.
to come out with an example, and that's
I don't think.
Swapped an expensive fruit for a slightly less expensive.
watermelons cheap. Watermelons are cheap, no?
Depends if they're in season.
Or am I out of
Depends.
touch?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think you are.
It's like $1 a kilo or something. No?
I have no idea.
I don't know,
Don't look at
whatever.
me. I'm not going to help you out on this one.
What are we talking about?
No, we talk.
Succulent Chinese meal, dude. He's got to be. I reckon you seem to think quite high.
I defend.
See,
small
so you're putting him
business.
above Pauline
Pauline
No,
Hanson.
I'm putting him above Chappelle Corby.
For sure,
Oh,
above
okay,
Chappelle Corby.
So flu. So
Flu.
Put in the
fourth
flu.
tier. All right, beautiful.
Wait a second. I'm just like Chappelle Corby transported drugs over the border, and this guy got a free chow mein. Are we-
Multiple free chow
Yeah,
mains.
Chappelle only did it once.
That's
That she got caught off.
yeah, that's true. We don't know how many boogie boards she actually has.
Okay, maybe the tier list is all wrong, but we'll revise at the end, maybe.
Next up, Ivan Milat.
A real menace, this one. A real scamp.
Again, maybe you don't know, he is Australia's greatest. Is that the right? Is that the right?
Notorious.
term to use?
Most
Notorious.
He's the
notorious.
goat. He's
Yeah.
the
He
goat.
is actually the goat. He's the Michael Jordan of Australian serial killers. Like, it's undisputed. But are we saying is that on the same level as George Pell? All he did, look. I'm not going to defend him.
But you are.
No, I'm saying
go
this
on,
is similar as like to the Tinder swindler. Like, these people willingly went with these people.
Victim
And then-
blaming now.
I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying, stranger danger. That should be something that's always prevalent in your mind. I wouldn't be.
I don't actually know that much about Ivan Milat.
Literally, he just picked up these backpackers and said,
Right.
like, yeah, I can give you a lift, and then drove them into like a state forest and then just killed them all.
And that's about all you need to know about Ivan Milat.
Fair
That's
enough,
the
yeah.
that's the
I think he did
bare
about
bones of
30
it.
times or something.
Oh,
This guy
okay.
was
Serial.
fuck. And the weirdest part was, so like, because he's from that area, so the police were like, they found like remains there, and so then they needed help from locals, and he would actually help the police like identify areas and stuff, even though he was the one who did it.
That's
the guy was
less-
a psycho.
But that's less menacing behavior. I think that's actually.
What do you mean? That's
quite
more
helpful.
menacing.
Psychotic.
That's
man.
actually psychotic.
But is it menacing? Is the question. These are different categories, different adjectives.
That is true. Would we say he is?
He was a menace to backpacker society.
That's such a small subsect
Oh
of
my
the
God.
community. You know what I mean? Like George Pell dominated the kids like
Industry. Yeah.
And then George Pell, backpackers, dude, they have Ubers these days. They don't need to get
Can,
picked
can
up
I ask
by
one question? Like, is pedophilia better or worse than murder? That's really the
I'm
question that
gonna
we're
buy out of this,
asking.
like-
that.
I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
No, I regret being the first person to answer that question.
Miguel just wiped his hand at this, and I was happy to let you take this as well.
I mean,
They're bad. They're both bad. Let's
Thanks, bro.
just clarify. Before, Tom loses his cushy job at the...
yeah, it wouldn't be ideal. I reckon murder's worse. I reckon.
So then we send it all the way to the top.
Then we send this to
Send Ivan all the way up there to the
Ivan's
top.
definitely, yeah, no, I wasn't disputing that.
All right, so Ivan will join George Pell at the top of the list. Next, we have Egg Boy. So a few years ago, there was a politician who was like, having a press conference, and this guy came out of nowhere. Like, he was like 13 or 14 or something, and he just smacked an egg on the top of him. And then this guy like went viral. Like he got like 100,000 Instagram followers, and I checked him out recently.
What's he doing now?
He's like some sort of spiritual advisor. He's like found Jesus or something, and he's like full like his Instagram's all about like about body mindfulness and like
Essential oils.
essential oils, like crystals, dream catchers, and he's got like a pretty big platform. Like, dude, how'd you go from smashing an egg on someone's head to being like a yogi and like promoting peacefulness and peace not love? I mean, peace not hate and all that shit.
Does he still have heaps of followers?
Yes, he's like got like 100,000 or something like that, and he's done one again, a similar 180. But I'm like, dude, come on! Like, I want more egg bashing over the heads. Like, that's your brand. It's like you being aggressive. Like, I want that. Like, don't just pull the rug from underneath me. Don't do me dirty like
Who
that.
would you like
switched.
who would you like him to egg next?
Oh, just get creative.
Scotty.
You should get him on. I reckon you can get him on the podcast for sure.
I think he lives in Queensland though. So do we have to fly him down? I don't know if we have these kind of expenses.
Zoom him in.
I'll zoom in. All right, maybe we'll try and get him on. But where
Wasn't the thing the politician was also a bit rogue?
Yeah, it was like a pretty
Like
rogue
a bigot.
So that's
or
why he
something?
became like a hero, because like he was a really like rogue politician and he attacked him.
So I think if we're talking about like pure definition of the word menace versus facilitating pedophilia or murdering backpackers, I think this guy is the biggest menace on the list as opposed to criminal.
Still a menace to society, nonetheless.
No, I don't think he's a menace to society though. He's just a menace to like.
He's a menace to that one bloke.
Yeah. He's
All
like,
right.
yeah, he's like Bruce Wayne with more autism. I don't know if you guys seen the latest The Batman. That guy's on the spectrum for sure.
What did you think of the new Batman?
I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but I really liked it. What did you guys think?
I didn't pick up that he was on the spectrum when I was watching
Isn't
it.
how moody that guy is?
Yeah, I just thought he was emo
He doesn't
and
have any
depressed.
friends at all. His best friend is his butler, who's paid to be
He's
there.
paid to be his best friend.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're gonna chuck Egg Boy, I guess, in the bottom level.
Is he at the same as
No, dude,
Chappelle? Like, you
no.
know, like is Chappelle too low at this point? Egg Boy's definitely like lowest.
Chappelle Colby broke no Australian laws.
That's exactly
Australian
right.
menace, is that the caveat?
Yeah,
Menace
it's
is
Australian
this-
menace.
Or was
Was she a
society at
menace?
large?
Reality TV menace.
Yeah, I
'Cause
reckon,
that's more menacing to me than egging fucking. I don't know.
but he
I
did
reckon
break an
Mayor.
Australian law, though. He did assault someone.
that's true.
She assaulted my eyes and ears and senses. I mean, me personally, I'm more assaulted by Chappelle.
She's bottom 2 tiers for sure, or he. So Egg Boy is bottom 2 tiers, one of them. I don't know if he's more or less a menace than Chappelle.
To Australian society, chuck him in the second lowest tier.
Second lowest. All right. We've got one more, the last one for the list. This one is a bit of a rogue one. I don't know if you guys are going to remember this, but remember Corey? Like the guy who had the
The
massive
house party.
party?
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm seeing Kush looking a bit confused there. Let me talk you through it. So
What
this
was
is
his name? What was his last name? Corey.
Worthington?
Worthington, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, so this guy, his parents went like out of town or something, and he was like 16 or 17 at the time, and he had like probably the biggest house party like the Shire has ever seen, and there was like 1,000 people apparently there, and there was like on the street, and there was like so much damage, and then he had,
People's cars got like smashed
Smashed
in
and
and
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
and so then he had to appear on like national TV,
current affair.
the next night, and he's like wearing like a hoodie and like these really wanky
Yeah, had the
sunglasses.
sunnies on.
Yellow
yeah.
sunglasses.
And then this host is like, Corey, can you please apologize to... She's like, apologize to Australia or something like that. And he's like, no, I'm not going to apologize. He's like, take your sunglasses off and apologize. Like, all right, I'll apologize, but I'm not taking the sunglasses off. And then there's like a website, I remember playing this because there was like a game that came out. It was called slapcorey.com. And you could just slap the little bitch like down the street. And you could like, the harder you did it, the further he would fly and stuff.
That's fun. I reckon you could get this entire list on this podcast. I reckon you can get George Pell on here. I want to hear his side of the story.
That is career limiting, I think, if we come anywhere near George
Career
Pell.
ending.
Career ending. I don't want to be associated with that man. But Corey, I would happily have onto the podcast.
yeah.
But where are we putting on? That man literally shut down a whole street.
True.
That is, in the grand scheme of things, pretty impressive, I have to say. And he was like, what, 15 or 16 at the time?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
like-
yeah, dude, prodigy.
And
dare
the
I
thing is, this was
suggest.
before Facebook was a thing. So how did so many people find out about this
No,
event?
I actually think it's because he had he put it on Facebook.
Oh, did he?
And made it like a public
you're
event.
right.
That's what that's what I
Anyone
remember.
could be invited to it and they
Yeah.
shared it. Yeah. I think
and
you're
then
right.
just got everyone around it, and then honestly, like quite a good little gathering you got around. Yeah, like, decent.
Gav, apparently they based that movie Project X on that. Do you remember Project
Yeah,
X?
I remember that movie. Was that off?
Did they actually?
No way.
That's what they say. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know whether or not that's like, they probably had that idea anyway.
True,
It's not
yeah.
particularly.
For someone who hasn't seen Project X, what is it?
Project X is like, it's a found, I think like what do they call them? Found footage film. Like it's like, what's the other one? It's like the Blair Witch Project, right? Where it's like, it's all told from the perspective of like someone's found a video camera and it's basically the same thing, right? Like they're at a party and it just gets out of hand. And then by the end, the SWAT team get called in and like a helicopter crashes and all this shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'll go check it out.
I reckon second top. Like it was a pretty like
It was
genuinely
big news.
Who else
It
is
was-
in second top? Have you got the...
Omicron. Who would
No,
we
I don't
put
think
up
anyone
there?
else
No
is
one is
second
actually
top.
in there yet. So
So is he?
there is no way Corey Worthington is more concerning to society than Pauline Hanson.
I think no, because like I said, Pauline's just words, dude. It's all bark
How
and no
am I
bite.
the one in this room not defending Pauline Hanson?
Look, we like all perspectives here. And Corey actually did some damage to the road and to
People's cars.
and to our TV.
people's culture and long
Look.
history and
Pauline wore a burqa Parliament once versus Corey, who did thousands of dollars of damage to a straight. I'm happy to say that Corey was a bigger
I'll
menace.
apologise, but I'm not taking my burqa off.
One of my favorite, I've actually got it saved in my photos. Pauline sitting in like the Senate in the full fucking burqa.
Yeah.
I still don't know what point she was trying to make. Because I think her thing was like, oh, you can't really like security check people if they're wearing it. Dude,
Yeah.
you still had to swipe your fucking ID tag, you idiot. And you went and sat at the table with said Pauline Hanson on it. Like, who are you trying to like? This is making no sense.
It would have been impressive if it wasn't Pauline Hanson.
Yeah, then
It
fair
was
enough. Then you're making your
It was
point.
Clive Palmer the whole time.
Where are we putting Kate Omicron?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Omicron has to be.
All right.
Has to be.
I don't agree, but sure.
You know what? You take your tier list.
All right. And I think that is all the menaces we have for today. Alrighty, lads, that brings us to the end of the episode. A massive thanks for Tom for coming on. I hope you had some fun.
It was great. Thank you for having me.
Where can listeners find you, is what I was trying to say.
Find me on Instagram at Tom Witcombe Comedy and TikTok, the same at Tom Witcombe Comedy. And yeah, I'm kind of like, I just did my Sydney Comedy Festival shows, but I reckon get down to Neil, Dan and Friends. Now it's called Comedy Unhinged at the Potts Point Hotel.
Untamed.
Comedy Untamed. You know better than me. I'm there a fair bit. It's a great show. You should come to that. I've listened to your thing with Neil Kahatkar as well. He's a legend. He's a killer.
Absolute killer. And where can the listeners find us, Manny?
Where can they find? No, they can find us Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any favorite podcast apps. YouTube, there is video. TikTok, we are there. Where are we not?
We're everywhere. Really.
Amazon
Yeah, we're like
Podcasts, if that's a
Jesus.
thing.
We are
Google.
everywhere.
We're like Jesus.
Everywhere.
Anyways, we will see you guys.
We'll catch you guys next week.
So yeah.